Bordeaux. Just saying the name feels kind of fancy, right? It brings to mind prestige, these legendary wines that can age for decades. It is, without a doubt, one of the most famous wine regions on the entire planet. But behind all that complexity, there's a surprisingly simple secret that unlocks everything.
So, what is that secret? I mean, how can one single region produce wines that are so powerful and structured, but at the same time also soft and opulent? It really seems like a contradiction, but you know what? The answer is beautifully simple. Yep, it all starts with a river, the Gironde estuary, this massive body of water. It literally splits the entire region in two, and that creates what we call the left bank and the right bank. This single geographic feature, well, it's the key to Bordeaux's entire dual personality. Okay, let's dive into this.
So, let's start our journey on the west side, the left bank. This is really the historic heartland of those powerhouse wines. We're talking about the kind of bottles that are built like architectural marvels, just designed to stand the test of time. The foundation here is, well, it's literally gravel. Deep, deep beds of stones and pebbles that the river deposited over millennia. And what's so amazing is how the soil acts like a perfect machine for grape growing. It provides fantastic drainage, which forces the vine's roots to dig way down deep, and it soaks up the sun's heat, radiating it back at night to help ripen the grapes perfectly. It's pretty incredible. And that warm, well-drained, gravelly soil, it's the absolute perfect home for the king of grapes, Cabernet Sauvignon. This is the undisputed star of the left bank. It's a grape that just loves this environment. It develops this really thick skin that gives the final wine its power, its deep dark color, and that incredible structure. So what does this all actually mean for the wine that's in your glass? Well, it creates a very distinct style. Left bank wines are, as I said, architectural. They've got these firm, structured tannins, that's the stuff that makes your mouth feel a little dry, and high acidity, which gives them that freshness and lets them age forever. You're going to find classic flavors of cassis, which is blackcurrant, along with these elegant notes of cedar and a sort of mineral quality like graphite. Bottom line, these are wines built for aging. They reward your patience. All right, let's hop across the river. We are now on the right bank. And listen, if the left bank is all about structure and power, the right bank is a whole other world. We're talking plush textures and just opulent fruit. It's a completely different personality over here.
Over here, the foundation changes completely. Instead of all that gravel, we find soils that are rich in clay and limestone. Now, unlike gravel, clay holds on to water, which is actually perfect for this side of the river. It's a cooler soil, and it creates a totally different set of ideal conditions for a totally different star grape.
And that star is Merlot. If Cabernet is the king, then Merlot is definitely the queen of Bordeaux. It's a grape that thrives in these cooler, moisture-retaining clay soils. It produces wines that are famous for their softness, their velvety texture, and their just generous, ripe fruit character. The style you get here is completely different. Right bank wines are soft, they're opulent, the tannins are velvety and smooth, not firm and grippy like on the left bank. The texture is just rounder, fuller in your mouth. And the flavors, they lean towards ripe plum, cherry, and often this delicious hint of chocolate. A really key difference is that these wines are often much more accessible and just plain enjoyable when they're young. Okay, so we've seen both sides of the river now. We've got the powerful, structured left bank and the soft, opulent right bank. So now let's put them head to head. Let's really make these differences crystal clear. You can think of this as your ultimate cheat sheet for Bordeaux. It's this simple. On the left bank, you've got Cabernet Sauvignon growing in gravel soil. That creates structured, tannic wines with those cassis and cedar flavors that are built to last. Flip over to the right bank, and it's Merlot in clay and limestone, giving us soft, fruit-forward wines with notes of plum and chocolate that are just great to drink when they're young. This right here, this is the core secret of Bordeaux, all in one place. So, now that you know the secret, the big question is, how do you actually use this knowledge? Let's turn all this theory into a practical guide for the next time you're staring at a wine list or standing in a wine shop feeling a little lost. It's really just a simple 3-step process. First, just decide what style you're in the mood for. Are you feeling like power or plushness? Next, play detective with the label. Look for famous left bank names like Pauillac or Margaux. For the right bank, you're looking for Saint-Emilion or Pomerol. And finally, think about the occasion. Are you buying a special bottle to put in the cellar for years? Go left bank. Want something delicious to drink this weekend? The right bank is almost always a fantastic choice.
So there you have it. You've got the map. You now know the two sides of Bordeaux's personality, and it's all defined by that one river. The only question left is, which side speaks to you? Are you drawn to the architectural structure of the left bank or the velvety softness of the right? Which bank will you explore first?